Hello children, today we are going to study clauses. This is the first lesson in English language for class 8. This is a very important lesson not only for class 8 but even for higher classes. So children, kindly pay attention. Now let's come to the topic. What's a clause? A clause is a group of words that forms a part of a sentence and has a subject and a predicate of its own. Let's understand this definition with the help of examples. The first example, I shall remain where I am. In this sentence, I shall remain is one clause and where I am is another clause. But the difference between these two clauses is that I shall remain is a main clause which does not require the help of the other part or the clause to convey the complete sense. Whereas where I am is a subordinate clause. Let's take one more example. If I make a promise, I keep it. In this sentence, if I make a promise is a subordinate clause which requires the help of the main clause to complete the sentence, whereas I keep it is a main clause. In third sentence, he put on weight when he stopped running. In this sentence, he put on weight is the main clause and when he stopped running is the subordinate clause. The subordinate clause usually begins with a conjunction where, if, when. Now let's see the types of clauses. There are two types of clauses, the main or independent clause and the subordinate or dependent clause. Under subordinate or dependent clause, it's further divided into other forms, that is adverb clause, adjective clause and noun clause. Now, adverb clause. What's an adverb clause? An adverb clause is a group of words which contains a subject and a predicate of its own and does the work of an adverb. Let's understand with the help of an example. They rested when evening came. In this sentence, when evening came is the adverb clause. How? As it is questioning when they rested when evening came. So this is the adverb clause. Let's understand with one more example. I do it because I choose to. In this sentence, the question asked is why. The answer what we get is because I choose to. So because I choose to is the adverb clause in this sentence. Now let's come to exercise 23. In this exercise, they have asked you to pick out the adverb clause in the following sentences. Let's do the first one. You may sit wherever you like. In this sentence, wherever you like is the adverb clause. So you need to underline it. In the same way, the rest questions can be done. In exercise 24, they have asked you to supply suitable adverb clauses. So let's see the first one. Do not go. A blank is there which is for you to be filled. You can have your own answers. Let me give you one example. Do not go until I return. In this, until is the conjunction, I is the subject and return is the verb. In exercise 25, they have asked you to replace adverb phrase by an adverb clause. Now how we will change it? Here is first example done for you. On his return, we asked him many questions. In this sentence, on his return is the phrase which we have to change it to a clause. So how it will be changed? When he returned, we asked him many questions. Now in exercise 26, you have to do the same. From when he returned, we asked him many questions to phrase on his return, we asked him many questions. So in this way, adverb clause gets over. Next topic is adjective clause. What's an adjective clause? A group of words which contains a subject and a predicate of its own and does the work of an adjective. Example, the umbrella which has a broken handle is mine. In this sentence, which has a broken handle is an adjective clause because this describes the noun the umbrella. With this, we are going to move to the exercise. In exercise 27 there in your book, they have asked you to pick out their adjective clause and tell what noun or pronoun each qualifies. Let's see the first example or the first question. Mary had a little lamb whose fleece was white as snow. So in this sentence, you have to only underline that clause which describes the noun, which is little lamb. So the answer will be whose fleece was white as snow. In this way, this exercise can be done. In exercise 28, they have asked you to supply suitable adjective clauses. So the first one, I know the place, and then they have given you a blank for you to be filled. We can do it like this. I know the place where he lives. Over here, where is the conjunction, he is the subject, and lives as a verb. And this group of words describe the place. So it's an adjective clause. In exercise 29, they have asked you to replace the adjective phrase by an adjective clause. Let's see the first question. A man of industrious habits is sure to succeed. In this sentence, of industrious habits is an adjective phrase which describes the man. So when we change it to a clause, it will go like this. A man who is of industrious habits is sure to succeed. Now, who is of industrious habits is describing the man with a conjunction, so it's an adjective clause. In the same way, exercise 29 can be done. In exercise 30, they have told you to replace the adjective clause by an adjective or an adjective phrase. That means the opposite of what you have done in exercise 29. So in exercise 30, the first example, the first question I am doing it for you. Do you know the woman who is wearing a blue sari? Now in this sentence, who is wearing a blue sari is an adjective clause and it is describing the woman. So when we are going to change it to a phrase, it will go like this. Do you know the woman wearing a blue sari? Now this wearing a blue sari is an adjective phrase as it does not contain a subject and a verb or a conjunction. Next is noun clause. Now what's a noun clause? A group of words which contains a subject and a predicate of its own and does the work of a noun is called a noun clause. Let's understand with the help of an example. I expect that I shall get a prize. In this sentence, that I shall get a prize is a noun clause. When we question the verb in the main clause, expect what? The answer what we get is that I shall get a prize. So, this that I shall get a prize is a noun clause. In the same way, we are going to do the exercises. In exercise 31, they have asked you to point out the noun clause in the following sentences. So the first question says, I often wonder how you are getting on. So in this sentence, how you are getting on is to be underlined, and this is the noun clause in the sentence. In the same way, exercise 31 can be done. In exercise 32, they have asked you to complete the following sentences by adding suitable noun clauses. That means you will get a blank where you have to put a noun clause to complete the sentence. Let's see the first sentence. I cannot understand. Then they have given you a blank. Now this blank has to be filled by you with a noun clause. So I would do it like this. I cannot understand why he robbed his friends. So this why he robbed his friends is a noun clause. In exercise 33, they have asked you to replace the words in italics by suitable noun clauses. Let's do the first question. The time of his coming, no one can guess. In this sentence, the time of his coming is a noun phrase, which we have to change to a noun clause. So this will change to when he will come, no one can guess. So now this when he will come is a noun clause. In the same way, this exercise 33 can be done by you. In exercise 34, they have asked the opposite. That means to change the noun clause to noun phrase or a noun. Let's do the first question in exercise 34. I hope that I shall be there in time. Now in this sentence, that I shall be there in time is a noun clause, which we have to change it to a noun phrase. So I hope to be there in time. So to be there in time is a noun phrase. So in this way, this exercise 34 questions can also be done. In exercise 35, they have asked you to pick out the clause in each of the following sentences and say what kind of clause it is and with what word it is connected. So let's do the first question. Come when you like. In this sentence, come is the verb in the main clause, when you like is an adverb clause. So this when you like modifies the verb come. So in this way, this exercise 35 can be done. Now let's move to the next exercise, that is exercise 36. In exercise 36, they have asked you to write a clause in place of the words in italics and say whether the clause is a noun clause, adjective clause or an adverb clause. So let's do the first question where you have to judge the type of clause and change to phrase. Now let's see. Exercise 36. He cannot find a place to sleep in. In this sentence, to sleep in is an adjective phrase. So this to sleep in adjective phrase has to be changed to an adjective clause. So it will go like this. He cannot find a place where he can sleep. Now this becomes an adjective clause as these group of words are describing the place. That's that. With this, we have completed this lesson. I hope you have understood and would try to sort out the questions by your own. Thank you.